beloveds, how y'all doing? We are getting ready to take, oh, excuse me, beloveds. This is Ade's World, and welcome. Today, we are going to go on a field trip to get the components of Jollof Rice, one of my favorite foods. We're going to go to a store called Southwest African Farm. Okay, this is the store. It's called Southwest Farms Market. Farmers Market, I guess. I am going to start this jollof rice process. And what I've learned doing my research is this is not a one day just do it kind of thing. There are some things you need to do in preparation. So I'm using the recipe of assistant, her YouTube is Cici Yemi. I could have that wrong, but I'll put it in the description. And so one of the things that she does is she takes her tomatoes, red bell peppers, some ginger, and the red onions, and she puts them in the food processor, and she blends that together to make this sauce, and then she boils it down. So that's what I'm going to start on right now. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and fry the chicken up. Maybe not, because my husband might eat it. Then I won't have chicken to show you, right? Right. So I'm going to take a couple of tomatoes, probably 3, because her recipe is for a party, and I'm not doing this for a party. I'm just doing this, for a couple of people. So I don't need quite as much. So I'm just going to make a small batch of this and puree it up, and then I'm going to boil it down. So I'm going to cut up my vegetables, and I'll be back, okay? Okay, so I've pureed the tomato, onions, and ginger, and some habanero. And now I'm going to take it to the stove and allow it to boil and reduce. So as this is reducing, I'm going to cut up my other vegetables. Yeah, turn that down some because I don't want it to cook very fast. I want it to simmer and reduce itself. And then, so let me just share with you what is in the rice. Now, again, she does this for a large group, a party. So she's using like 12 cups of parboiled rice. I'm not going to be using nearly that much. I'm only going to probably use about 2 cups. And then she has vegetable oil. She has tomato puree. And what I'm boiling down now is what she calls tatache, and in it is ginger, the bell pepper, chilies, and onions ground up. And then we're going to use some chicken stock, the cubes, right? And then we got the liquid chicken stock, and then water, salt, thyme, rosemary, curry powder, white pepper, bay leaves, and some onion. That's just for the jollof. And she also, let me tell you what it is. Sisi Yemie, and that's SISIYEMMIE and her recipe is how to cook Nigerian jollof step by step stew and fried chicken. This stew looks so amazing, and in it has onions, scotch bonnet, and tomatoes. We're going to use some vegetable oil, vegetable puree, the onions, thyme, rosemary, curry, and chicken stock. Do you see a pattern here? Yeah, it's the same spices across the board. So she's doing a layering process, right? So I'm going to follow her process, and I will be back with you in just a minute. Ooh, let me tell you what she do when she do the chicken. Because of the type of chicken she uses, she boils her chicken first, and that's where she gets her chicken stock from. So she's got, she's gonna boil the chicken with onions and paprika, salt, pepper, ginger powder, garlic powder, and chicken stock powder, you know, the little bouillon type cubes. That's what she boils her chicken in. And that is how she makes her stock. And because she does it that way, she's able to then, you know, keep the layers of the flavors coming together. And that's the way you want. You don't want just to throw stuff together. You want to get a layering effect of all of your spices so that when they marry, baby, let me tell you, your tongue and your teeth gonna have a fight. So I'll be back. I got some other things to do, and then I'll come back and show you what I've been up to. Okay, beloveds? I'll be right back. Don't worry. Just hold tight. We're gonna get this meal together. Okay, beloved, so I've got, this is the step in which we are now making the jollof. So I'm going to add the onions. That's oil that I used from when I did the chicken. So it has the flavor from the chicken. One of the things I noticed that they save, they save the oil from the chicken, and one of the things my mom helped me to understand is that when they were saying hard chicken, is that they're using a hand, not a fryer, which is why they are boiling it first and getting all those juices to make their broth. Ooh, this is fragrant. Just say, cook until it is fragrant. And then she goes after. So it's kind of like sauteing your onions until they're starting to get translucent. And it is here where she adds all of her seasonings, which is curry, white pepper, rosemary, and thyme. I'm gonna let that do its thing. Let that simmer. Oh yeah, that's a bay leaf in there. I reduced it. She used a tablespoon of each herb. I chose to use, she used a tablespoon, excuse me. I'm doing a teaspoon because I'm doing less than what she did. So, as I allow this to just kind of cook, Get those seasonings good in there. Get that smell all up in here. I wish you could smell this. This is amazing. Okay, now that that has done its thing and got all fragrant, I'm adding tomato puree to it. Right? So it's tomato with onion, bell pepper, and I'm going to, as she say, fry this. So again, the spices are, it's a theme here. It is salt. So instead of a half a tablespoon, I use a pinch. And then thyme, rosemary, curry, white pepper, and bay leaf. And instead of a tablespoon as she used, I only did a teaspoon of each of the herbs. So we're gonna let this puree cook. Needs to do its thing, get all flavored up, all the flavors get married together. So as before when we talked about doing the chicken, it is the same herbs, right? As I was saying, she used a hen and boiled it with onion, paprika, salt, chicken powder seasoning, or the cubes, you know, like you would use when you make a dressing, these little cubes here, or the powder. And then she used thyme, curry, ginger powder, garlic powder. And that was what she boiled to get her chicken stock. Okay? Versus a bought chicken stock. Oh yeah, this is starting to really smell up really good. I can't wait. Now, I don't know if mine is going to be exactly, but I'm going to give it my best shot, right? So yeah, I think it's time to add the tatache, which is where I took tomatoes, bell pepper, Scotch bonnet or habanero. It's the same as like what is in the stew. I'm gonna add that because it cooked down. Now she says you're gonna let this cook until it starts to get that jollof flavor. I don't know what that is because I've not ever done it before. So we're gonna see, okay? We're gonna see what this is gonna do. So this has to like cook a little bit more, I believe. It needs to get a certain kind of look, so we're gonna let that cook. Okay, so now we're gonna add the broth. Let this cook and come to a boil. And after this step, we introduce the rice. Smells amazing. Tastes good. got a little heat to it from the tatashe, I'm going to guess, because that has pepper in it. So, yeah. So we're going to let this come to a boil, and then we're going to add the rice. Alright, it's been doing its thing. So now, let's stir in the rice. It's 1 cup. Two cups. So I'm doing 2 cups of rice. And I'm using jasmine rice versus the parboiled rice, just because I was told it didn't make a difference. So since I couldn't find a small bag of parboiled, however I've been told where I can find a small bag, I am using the jasmine. Look at that. Oh my God, that looks so good. Okay, so this is 3 cups of rice, and I'm only going to add enough water to cover the rice. Said no matter how much rice you use, just enough to come to the top of the rice. So there we go. That's just to the top of the rice. And I'm now going to turn it down, let it do its thing, and bam, we're going to have some jollof. You don't want it to cook fast, you want it to cook slow.